Is our defensive front truly ready for the intensity of the upcoming season? With training camp on the horizon and health concerns mounting at defensive end, a new report suggests our squad should consider a reunion with an experienced veteran to bolster the trenches. This potential move could provide the critical depth we desperately need to support our standout stars. Does bringing back a familiar face provide the perfect insurance policy for our defense, or should we trust the young talent currently turning heads in practice? Smash that like button, subscribe for more Panthers updates, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Carolina Panthers have officially concluded their mandatory 3-day minicamp, entering a brief period of downtime before the intensity of training camp ramps up in July. Dave Canales is preparing his team for an early spotlight, as the club is set to kick off the 2026 preseason action against the Arizona Cardinals in the Pro Football Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. While the roster is currently taking shape, external analysis from ESPN's Aaron Schatz has highlighted a specific area of concern for the defensive front. Schatz recently proposed that adding an experienced veteran could be the final puzzle piece for this unit before the regular season begins. The primary target suggested is 12-year professional Daquan Jones. The rationale behind this suggestion is grounded in current health concerns affecting the defensive line depth chart. Specifically, Tershawn Wharton recently underwent neck surgery and is anticipated to start training camp on the physically unable to perform list. This situation creates a legitimate need for insurance, as the team cannot afford to be thin on the defensive front when the season kicks off. With the Panthers operating out of a base 3-4 defensive scheme, the current lack of proven backups behind the starting lineup presents a clear opportunity for a veteran acquisition. Currently, the depth behind the primary starters includes LeBrian Ray, who did not start a game last season, and Jared Harrison Hunt, an undrafted free agent from 2025, who has yet to see regular season action. The organization is also developing younger players like undrafted free agents Aaron Hall and Tywone Malone, but the experience factor remains missing. Bringing in a player like Daquan Jones would address this gap immediately, ensuring the team maintains high performance levels regardless of health statuses at the start of the year. The potential reunion between Daquan Jones and the Carolina Panthers is not without historical context. Jones is already familiar with the organization, having spent the 2021 season in Carolina after his 7-year tenure with the Tennessee Titans. During that 2021 campaign, Jones proved his value by starting all 17 games for the club, recording 38 tackles, 1 sack, and a forced fumble. Since then, he spent 4 productive seasons with the Buffalo Bills under Sean McDermott, where he started 51 games and accumulated 10.0 sacks. His performance during his time in Buffalo remained consistent, as he demonstrated an ability to influence games from the interior of the defensive line. In his most recent season, he appeared in 12 games, finishing with 22 stops, 3 sacks, 2 batted passes, and a forced fumble. Beyond his regular season statistics, Jones brings significant experience from the postseason, having participated in a dozen playoff games throughout his career with both Tennessee and Buffalo. This veteran presence is exactly the type of pedigree that could stabilize the defensive rotation. The perspective provided by Aaron Schatz emphasizes that relying solely on younger or inexperienced depth could be risky when facing a rigorous NFL schedule. By targeting an established defender who already understands the team's landscape, the Panthers would be prioritizing reliability. It is a strategic move that acknowledges the physical toll the season takes on defensive linemen and the necessity of having next-man-up capability. For a team that prides itself on the ability to keep pounding, regardless of adversity, having a seasoned anchor like Jones available in the rotation would provide Ejiro Evero with the flexibility he needs to manage his personnel effectively throughout the long grind of the upcoming 2026 season. Why does this matter right now for the team? The answer lies in the specific requirements of the Panthers' base 3-4 defensive alignment, which relies heavily on the strength and durability of the interior line. With Tershawn Wharton sidelined by neck surgery and his status for the start of the season uncertain, the defensive rotation faces a potential bottleneck. The reliance on players like LeBrian Ray and Jared Harrison Hunter, who lack the combined starting experience that Jones possesses, could prove problematic during the high-stakes environment of September. The team has already invested in the interior through other channels, such as signing Bobby Brown III and drafting Cam Jackson last offseason, as well as selecting promising defensive tackle Lee Hunter in the 2nd round this past April. However, these moves do not negate the immediate need for a veteran who can contribute high-level snaps from day one. Daquan Jones' ranking as the 24th best interior defender in 2025, according to Pro Football Focus, highlights that he is not just a body for depth, but a player who continues to perform at an efficient level. Having an insurance policy for the defensive front ensures that the defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero, does not have to alter his scheme or over-rely on his marquee starter, Derek Brown. If the Panthers intend to remain competitive throughout the entirety of the 2026 schedule, bolstering the trenches with a proven veteran is an objective, practical step to avoid potential gaps in performance. The ability to rotate players effectively without a drop-off in production is a hallmark of consistent defenses, and integrating a player of Jones's caliber would clearly enhance the overall depth available to the coaching staff, providing them with reliable options whenever the situation demands them. The discussion surrounding the potential acquisition of Daquan Jones is framed entirely by the immediate roster needs identified by external analysis. Aaron Schatz's proposal serves as a direct commentary on the current state of the Panthers' interior defensive line, specifically highlighting the potential absence of Tershawn Wharton. This is a classic case of evaluating team depth versus the demands of a starting position. The Panthers have shown a clear commitment to their defensive front through the draft and free agency, but the reality of injuries, like the one sustained by Wharton, often requires the organization to pivot and explore veteran options. The addition of a second-round pick like Lee Hunter demonstrates a clear long-term strategy, but long-term planning must be balanced against the immediate necessity of winning games in the upcoming season. Daquan Jones offers a bridge between these two worlds. He provides the veteran stability to win now, while allowing younger players to continue their development without the pressure of being thrust into starting roles prematurely. This type of roster management is critical in a league where the margins between success and failure are defined by the quality of depth in the trenches. By looking at a familiar face, the team could potentially bypass the usual adjustment period that accompanies free agent signings, as Jones has already navigated the facilities and expectations in Carolina. The logic behind this move is straightforward and centers on securing the defensive interior against the volatility of player health. It is a calculated consideration for a coaching staff looking to maximize their defensive potential and ensure that the unit remains robust throughout the entire 2026 season, regardless of any unexpected personnel setbacks that might occur during the summer months. Looking at the broader picture, the Panthers are clearly in a phase of development and preparation. With mandatory minicamp behind them and the Hall of Fame game on the horizon, every roster decision from this point forward is geared toward ensuring the team is ready for the regular season kickoff. The suggestion to sign Daquan Jones is not about changing the identity of the team, but rather about strengthening the foundation upon which the defense is built. Derek Brown remains the cornerstone of the defensive line, but even the best players benefit from having capable and experienced teammates surrounding them. If the team follows the logic of the current assessment, they would be acquiring a player who has proven his worth in both the AFC and the NFC, having navigated various defensive schemes throughout his 12-year career. The move would essentially solidify the rotation and provide the defensive staff with the confidence that they have an experienced veteran ready to step in at a moment's notice. While the front office has already made moves to address the defensive interior, the specific health concerns regarding Tershawn Wharton suggest that additional depth is not just a luxury, but a necessity for long-term consistency. As the team prepares for the rigors of the schedule, maintaining a competitive, deep defensive front will be essential for Ejiro Evero's plans. Whether or not the club ultimately moves to bring Jones back into the fold remains to be seen, but the clear need for veteran insurance is a factual part of the current narrative. As the organization transitions into the next phase of their preparations, they will continue to evaluate every possible avenue to ensure the team remains as strong as possible, upholding the standard expected by the fan base as they move toward the 2026 regular season.